Right. So, what is the best SEO strategy for 2023? Last half of this year and next year, I'm convinced this is the number one strategy for you to use. This was a discussion we had in our Marketech Pro classroom. Following few minutes will certainly change your view on SEO. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so I was talking with this SEO guy or my developer, and he was just talking about the next step for SEO is that basically that all this content that I'm making on social stuff, he was like, yeah, let's just make a blog page on your website, and then you can just recycle that material so that when people are Googling stuff that your site comes up. Is there any credence to that?
Well,
So
sure. Go
Like to
ahead,
just
Cola.
turn like one of my TikToks just into an article, basically, and then you just populate the blog page of the site for SEO purposes. Is that true?
So, here's my thoughts. This is going to actually my webinar that I'm producing today. Okay, so we have to talk at a high level here a little bit. All of marketing boils down to these two things, right? Traffic and conversions.
Uh-huh.
So if we're looking at an SEO strategy, we have to break down each one of these: traffic and conversions. So, and we have that saying, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Because you have to decide, are you going to spend your time today? Is it worthwhile to invest in this and spend my time producing this shit? Is it actually going to pay off into something?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is the main question. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And then, so let's look at the traffic component of this. So we're talking about SEO traffic. So how do you determine your SEO traffic?
Google Analytics.
Yeah. SEO by definition is keywords, right? People go to Google, search for something, Google shows them the results. It's keyword driven. Okay. There's not like an explore page on YouTube, right? YouTube has their explore page where you just randomly go off and find stuff. That's the YouTube algorithm saying, hey, you've watched this in the past. Now we'll show you this. But if you're doing blog content and specifically an SEO strategy, that's Google and that's keyword driven. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to look at the keywords. The first thing we have to look at is, what is the total traffic potential? So let's take your top 10 keywords and add up, what is that number? Let's say the total, you do your, just like we did with Bard, and this is where SEMrush, Keyword Planner, all these other tools will tell you what is the potential traffic. So let's say if we add up those 10 keywords, it's 1,000 clicks per month. They'll tell you that, right?
Yeah.
Now we have to do a competitor analysis, right? So for those top 10 keywords, who already ranks and can we possibly beat them? Because that's what it is. It's a game of beating. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You need to outrank them, because the next step is, and I forget what this is called, and there's current numbers. Let me see if I can remember the Google of this. It's what are the expected click-through rates for SERPs on Google? What are the expected click-through rates, expected position click-through rates? Let me see if this is, yeah, here, CTR by SERP position. Can you see this?
Whoa.
Okay. So we know, I don't know if this is recent or not, but here's the idea. If you're not in the top 3 positions for your keyword, you're probably not going to get any traction. So if we bring this over here, and let me tab in and
Yeah.
put this in here. So again, we have 1,000 clicks per month. If we can get to the top position, we're going to get 20% of those clicks, right?
Yeah.
Now, so what is that? That's 200. If we get the top SERP, we get 200 clicks. Make sense?
Yeah.
If we get the second position, we get 130 clicks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So you have to go in and search for the keyword, right? So cycling map software or app. So these sponsored, those are paid ads, right? You can buy those. We don't pay attention to those. So here's our SERPs: Bike Radar, Tread Bikely, Apple.
Yeah.
You're not beating Apple, I'll tell you that,
Yeah.
right? So now you got to look at Bike Radar and Tread Bikely. Can we compete with these guys? I don't know. There's a whole art to competitive analysis, but at the end of the day, it comes down to backlinks, right? And that's where tools like Majestic SEO, SEM Rush, they all tell you the number of backlinks. So we take this link here. Let me copy this, and we go to Majestic SEO and we put in that URL. Let's see what's going on with that URL. So it's got pretty good numbers. It has 161 domains that are backlinking to that page. Make sense? So for you to beat this page here, you need to get at least 161 links and have better content and keep them going. Because as soon as this page gets 163 links, they beat you again and they come back to the top, right? So it's this constant game of staying at the top SERP.
Wow.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
But it gets better. So now we know our clicks. We have to make a guess on, can I compete? So I love picking on SEO because it's really a bugger of mine. Now the question comes, oh, all right, now I click through this website. Now what happens? Now I have to deal with the conversion side of the equation, right?
Okay.
So now on my landing page, what's an average CTR for a page, right? So here's the page. First of all, they get privacy stuff. They've got links everywhere. So let's see what the call to action on this page is. There's a video, ads, best cycling app. So this is probably an affiliate page. They're getting paid commissions, right? If I click on this Strava and I end up buying Strava, they'll make money. But there's so much damn ads on this page, it's hard to even read.
Yeah.
Now, the other kind of clever thing you can do is in Google. So let's go back to the search results. You can do one of two things. You can buy this keyword, right? And there's a cost per click associated with that. And then you're going to show up in these sponsored results. Or the interesting thing is you can also go into Google, Cola, you can do this, and you can show ads. So all this stuff that shows up on the sides and down here, all these ads, those are Google AdSense ads. You can target this page particularly and beat Mazda. Like Mazda's probably not paying a lot per click for this. They're definitely, why are they targeting apps, right? So you can come in and target specific pages. But the point is, if you're trying to sell or have someone opt into your email list or whatever, you gotta come back and say, all right, what's the CTR for the page? I think a normal page is like 3%. Or let's say you have an amazing page at 20%. So now if we go back up here and we say, okay, on a monthly basis, I'm getting 200 clicks times, let's take our amazing rate of 20% opt-in. Now I've got 40 opt-ins. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now these are MQLs. Are they any good or not? I don't know. But now you can come back and now you can say, is the juice worth the squeeze? If I can, and there's a bunch of ifs, right? If I can get number one position, if I actually get 200 clicks, if I have a landing page that converts at 20%, I'm going to get 40 MQLs. Now, let's say it takes me, I hire an agency that I'm paying, because this just happened last week, paying these guys $3,500 a month to generate this. and I get 40 opt-ins in the month. Okay, this is not going to happen overnight. It's going to absolutely take, 6 to 8 months to get those SERPs. And so now we're talking, let's take $18,000 roughly. And let's say in the meantime, we haven't gotten 40 a month. Let's say, yeah, it worked right out of the gate. We've got 40 for 6 months. That's 240 leads. So what's the math there? $18,000 divided by 240 leads. You've got a lead cost of $75. Is that right?
Wow.
Is that right? 240 leads times $75 equals 18,000. Yeah. So you've got a per lead cost or per MQL cost of $75.
Wow.
And it took you 6 months to get there. Never forget the time it took you to get there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's gotcha. Yeah.
So does that make sense? Like, this is the think through of SEO that no one ever does.
No, it's great. And it's also like sometimes I'm just doing things it's like, oh, I guess I heard that I ought to do that. And it's like,
Yes,
okay, no.
exactly. And it's the one place where marketing agencies make their money, because it takes 6 to 8 months, right? And so they're like, well, yeah, it's going to take time to get those SERPs.
Yeah.
But what they've never done on the front end is say, can we even compete for the keywords? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Right? Like you're in the cycling world. What's the big one? Is it Livestrong? What's that? Lance Armstrong, Livestrong, something like that. They dominate the freaking SERPs. You're never going to beat those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to really like, hey, I don't need that to succeed,
No.
like really, like it's like, yeah.
If you're a $5-10 million brand and you have all the money and now you want to go build a moat around that and get the SERPs and the SEO strategy, go for it. But if you need sales tomorrow, SEO is not the strategy you should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And if that was of interest to you and you want to talk about your numbers, whether or not you should be doing SEO, I want to invite you. There's a link down below where we have a free workshop on how to come up with your numbers for your business, your marketing numbers, and how to make it all work for you. So look forward to helping you. Talk to you soon. Thanks.